Warning, this video contains flashing images. Well, you're going to be familiar with that, aren't you? You're watching the news and that's now often the way they introduce the video that's coming up. Just to make sure, if you've got any problem with flashing images, that you're going to be pre-warned and it's not going to cause a problem. And all too often in life we want that to be the case. We want this lovely, safe, lovely, pleasant, risk-free environment. But I want to say to you today, warning, this video may be pretty risky. You see, there is something about encountering God, there is something about the spiritual journey, there is something about discovering about yourself and about how God may affect your life that can totally change everything. The video that we've got in the Just Looking section today looks at a question about the chaos in the world. So it asks the question, if there's so much chaos in the world, isn't that a sign that God is absent? Well, I don't believe so, and I hope you find the video interesting. We've also got a continued update from our friend Stuart Dawson. Now, Stuart has been doing this amazing thing, walking from Newcastle to Bournemouth. Hopefully you will have seen over the last few weeks the various videos that we've shown. I'm going to put some more photos of how Stuart's been getting on. He's still going. It's been really tough. I'm hoping to meet up with him next week and I'll put a video together for you to see this time next week. But he's doing an amazing thing. And what's really interesting, when I've been talking to Stuart over these past sort of 10 days or so, is some of the things that have surprised him. You see, at the beginning of his walk, I kind of asked him, okay, Stuart, what's it going to be like? And he said, well, I'm going to find this a challenge. I'm sure this will be a challenge. And yet, interestingly, a bit like the warning this video contains, actually some of the challenges have not been the things that he would expect. And yet other things that he thought were going to be challenges haven't proved to be challenges at all. One of the things he shared with me is how isolating you can become. He's been suffering with shin splints, we think it's shin splints, and one night he really felt a need to get some treatment, and yet he was about 18 miles away from the hospital. There was no way he could get there. The taxis wouldn't take him because it was a Saturday, there were no buses, there was no way for him to get to the treatment that he needed. It was an incredibly isolating and lonely experience. So often in life things aren't as we think they're going to be. Wouldn't it be lovely, wouldn't it, if in any stage of your life, whether it's good things are happening or bad things are happening, if at the beginning someone could say, warning, this next stage of your life is going to contain this. Wouldn't it be even better if someone could say, this stage of your life is going to contain this, but then this is what's going to happen. This is the future that you've got to look forward to. This is the hope that you've got to look forward to. Well, I want to say to you that one of the things about being a Christian is that there is a hope that we look forward to. And we're not immune from the troubles and the suffering. Stuart's really going through it with the walk that he's undertaken. It's a huge commitment. And many people watching this video, many people that I know who are Christians also have suffering in their lives. There are many that are suffering in the world as we speak. And it's a chaos we can't get our heads around. And I hope that the video that speaks about a God being absent when there's chaos around, that is helpful to you. I think of the many people that we're getting to know that have come to this country from Ukraine. My wife and Caroline this week were at a thing in the park on Wednesday, helping out there on the Ukrainian Independence Day. And many of the people that come to the Ukrainian cafe on the Friday that they do were there with their kids and they were talking to them, having conversations. And it's amazing the things that they've had to endure. I want to encourage you, please don't forget about the Ukraine situation. Please just take that pause, take that time to just pray. And just pray that this chaos, this pain and this suffering will end soon. It would be nice, wouldn't it, to have that warning this video contains, or this part of life contains. Sadly, that's not often the case, but what I have discovered through the faith that I have is when I stop and I take that time, just as the person says in the video about the chaos and God being absent, it's a bit like being on that train. You know, when you enter that dark tunnel, you don't throw away your ticket and jump off the train. You trust the driver and you trust the guard that they know what they're doing and they know the direction you're going. And so it is with God. We may not understand it. It may seem overwhelming at times. It may seem like there's no end in sight. And yet we can trust that God knows, that God will uphold us, that God will give us everything we need, that God will strengthen our character through those times of suffering, and that one day there will be the light at the end of the tunnel. And that is my hope and my prayer for the many things that I see around the world that are so chaotic. It's for the many things that are in my own life that are chaotic, and maybe the things in your own life that come into that category. That you will see very soon a time where God will come and bring relief and hope and an end to that suffering. So whatever your situation this week, we pray you have a good week, that the videos are useful. Drop us a line anytime. We're here if you need anything a little bit more, if you just want to chat via email or chat on the phone. Use the form at the bottom of this page and get in touch. We'd love to make contact with you and support you and help you in any way we can. Have a great week. We'll see you soon.